Be a Light Day wasn't just a day, it was a week. And I know it was really important to you and Debbie that it be a week. So tell us a little bit about the days leading up to Be a Light Day.
When we launched the Lighthouse Fund last year, you and I and a team of leaders, Jocelyn, Tim, and Kim, really spent a lot of hours talking about what we wanted the fund to mean and represent for our memory makers. And we developed a vision for the fund at that time. And our vision for the fund is to be a light in the lives of everyone we serve. And for us, this fund was really about serving our memory makers and how serving our memory makers really creates a ripple effect and impacts not only them, but their families, their communities, their children, their friends. And so for us, being a light is about serving others. And to represent and commemorate Be a Light Day, or the 1 year, we really wanted our memory makers to get active in our communities. And so we looked to the partners that we generally partner with, like our partners in Hope to Dream with Beds for Kids. Julia was able to share their contact information with me. And so we just reached out and said, hey, is there anything in this week time frame that we could do to support you? And so through that, we partnered with 9 different organizations, actually. Kind of reached out to some that we hadn't partnered with in the past too. And that week, our memory makers moved furniture, they cleaned dog kennels, they washed buses at the Boys and Girls Club. We made sandwiches for people in our community experiencing housing insecurity. And it was just a really good week that felt good. Memory makers wanted to get involved. We even had a new memory maker, drive from Raleigh to Charlotte to partner with the animal care and control because they were so excited about it. So just to see that impact. And throughout the week, we had 56 memory makers volunteer, even with some of our corporate chaplains. So our corporate chaplains really showed up. I think like 10 of them volunteered with our memory makers. And through that, we served over 140 hours of our time.
It's really incredible. You know, people want these moments. They want to serve. They want to do good. And as the pictures were coming into our inbox that week, just made you feel good. You saw how happy people were. They were connecting. They were engaging. Again, whether it be animals, children, different members of our community, they really showed up in a meaningful way. And throughout the week, you were also sending kind of ideas that were no cost, no time. Yeah. Right? So this is just about spreading joy and kindness. It's about walking by somebody and smiling at them at the grocery store or saying, I like your shirt today. And so those little nuggets too, sometimes it doesn't take time. It doesn't take money. It just is reminding ourselves in what can be a little bit of a tough and challenging world today that there is a lot that comes from a little joy, a little sprinkle, if you will. So super well done. We served all week, and then this kind of commenced on Friday, July 17th, with Be a Light Day. Again, it started as a little idea. What would it look like? Would it be outside? Would it be at a park? And it kind of grew over time into the event that was. So tell us a little bit about Be a Light Day.
Yeah. Be a Light Day was really built to be celebratory. So the whole week was about service. This day was just about celebrating what we did together because this fund does not get built by one person, by one thought or idea. It's truly built through our memory makers in our community. And so this is also the first event we've had at Broad River where we've invited families. Like I said, it impacts so much more than just the memory maker. It impacts their children, their loved ones, their spouse, their families. And so we really thought it was important that their families get to come as well. So we had memory makers, their families. It was an outdoor event, and we actually held it at Ridge Church in Matthews, which coincidentally just like all came together so beautifully because they also work with Treetop Catering there, who we often work with, which we didn't know when we started like scouting and looking, and so it all just kind of culminated perfectly to be the right location. We had bouncy houses, games, food, music, all of the things you need for a really fun day. And we celebrated together, and it was just so great seeing memory makers and their kids and their families come out.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.